A group of 200 people were asked about the kind of sport they watch on TV. 180 people watch rugby, cricket, or soccer. The information was collected and represented in a Venn diagram where R represents rugby, S represents soccer, and C represents cricket. So as you can see, this is a Venn diagram. Total sample of our Venn diagram is 220 people, which are outliers. These are guys that do not watch soccer, rugby, or cricket. The first question here says, how many people watch rugby or cricket? So now, if you're trying to figure out the amount of people that watch rugby or cricket, is everyone in the circle where you have rugby or cricket? So basically, if I'm going to shade this, let's say I shade it looking like this. Yeah. So here, as you can see, even though included some people in soccer, but those guys that are in soccer also watch rugby or cricket. So now with this, we just have to add the numbers inside those two circles. Okay, so let's add them. We have 50 plus 20 plus 30 plus 5 plus 25 plus 10. 140. Okay, so it means that the first one over here, our answer is just 140 people. Okay, let's clean that off. Now B says determine the probability of R or S or C prime. Now this prime that you have over here represents not. Let me give you a quick example. The probability of not A is equals to 1 minus the probability of A. Okay, so the probability of something not happening is equals to the probability of 1 minus the thing actually happening. To get this one here, we're looking at what is not in R or S or C. So it is outside those circles. Is me actually shading this part, everything outside those circles, right? So as you can see, this is kind of like a rough sketch, bear with me. You can see that the part I'm actually shading, the only value there is this 20 that you have here. So since the total people we're working with was 200, they said a group of 200 people, we understand the probability of this will just be 20 over 200, which is 1 over 10. We could also make it 0.1. Then for C, it says determine whether watching cricket and rugby are independent events. So to prove two events are independent, we actually say that the probability of cricket times the probability of rugby has to give you the probability of cricket and rugby. Now, if this statement is true, then it is an independent event. But if it is not true, then we can say it's definitely not an independent event. Okay? So now let's go back up and look at the probability of cricket, rugby, and cricket and rugby. So with cricket, we're looking at everything in the cricket circle. So therefore, this would be so that's 65. Everything in the rugby circle, looking at that. So this one here would be 100. Finally, in the rugby and cricket intersection, we're actually looking at this part here. And that there is just 20 plus 5, as you know, is 25. Okay, so those are the values. Now we need to write all this in terms of probability. So for cricket, we know that is 65. Okay, so this here would be 65. Since we're working with a total group of people of 200, so that's 100 over 200, and we need this to be equals to 25 over 200. Okay, so putting this in our calculator, Okay, this is 13 over 80, which is also 0.1625. 0.1625. And on this side, we do the same thing. We have 25 over 200. That's 1 over 8, which is 1 over 8, which is 0.125. Now, as you can see here, they are not equal, right? The fractions are not equal, the decimals are not equal, so we would say that this is not an independent event, right? That's it.